Now I will introduce Maglumi X3 to you. Before the introduction of the instrument, at first I will introduce the consumables in Maglumi X3. These are the consumables in Maglumi X3. Compared with traditional Maglumi system, there are some of the consumables are the same. The same consumables is including the starters, the light check liquid, the system tubing cleaning solution, and the wash concentrate. These consumables are the same in Maglumi X3 and traditional Maglumi system. Then, let's see the different consumables. There are only one consumables is different, that is the cuvette. You can see in Maglumi X3, the cuvette is one single cup cuvette. The cuvette is loaded in a cuvette plate. Each cuvette plate has 182 cuvettes. Each package of the cuvette including 3 cuvette plates. That's all about the introduction for the consumables in Maglumi. Then about the introduction for the instrument. At first, let's see the appearance of the instrument. You can see at the top of the instrument there is an indicator light. Now the light is showing yellow color. Yellow color means there is some alarms in the user software. The operator need to check the user software. If the analyzer is running normally, the color will show green. If the color shows yellow or red, it means there is some alarms in the user software. The operator need to check. Now, the indicator light shows yellow because we are turning on the analyzer just now. It needs some time to make the reagent area and incubator to reach its normal temperature. Therefore, now it shows yellow color. And when we open the cover, we will see the components inside the instrument. And here is the RFID reader. Before we load the reagent kit, we need to scan the reagent kit in this area. This is the reagent area and this is the sample area. There are totally 20 positions in reagent area and there are totally 72 positions in sample area. You can see there are some numbers will show the positions of the reagent kit and the positions of the sample rack. And the numbers will also show different colors, will show the status of the position. And here you can see there are some indicator lights. These indicator lights shows the status of consumables. If the light shows green color, it means there is enough consumables. If the color shows red or yellow, it means the operator need to replace the consumables or empty the waste. Next to the consumable indicators, there is a cabinet. When we open this cabinet, we will see the cuvette storage, the cuvette bin, cuvette dustbin, and the starter box. The cuvette storage, there are 2 layers, the low layer and the top layer. When we load a new reagent, when we load the new cuvette plate, we need to load the new cuvette plate at the lower layer. And after one cuvette plate of cuvette is running out, the empty cuvette plate will go out from the top layers. That's all about the cuvette storage. And then here is the cuvette dustbin. The used cuvette will be thrown away in this dustbin automatically. And here is the starter box. We load the starters in this area. And then I will introduce all the consumables in Maglumi X3 to you. Before the introduction for the consumables, at first, I will show you the test procedure. During the test, at first, the analyzer will send the cuvette plate to this area, to the cuvette storage area. And then the claw it will catch one cuvette. It will catch one cuvette and then catch a cuvette to this position. This is the sample rack. In the sample rack will rotate to this position. In this position, the pipette will go to the reagent area to add the reagent and go to the sample area to add the sample into the cuvette. And then the pipette will go to the wash hole to wash automatically. At the same time, the sample disc will rotate to its mixing position. In the mixing position, you can see there is a mixture under the cuvette. When the cuvette is moving to this position, the mixture will go up. When it is going up, it will lift the cuvette. At the same time, the mixture will shake violently, mixing the reactants in the cuvette. Make the sample can fully react with the reagent. Then the sample disc will rotate to this position. The claw will catch the cuvette. To the incubator. To the incubator. This is the incubator. There are totally 80 positions in the incubator of Maglumi X3. You can see because the cuvette is single cup cuvette and the structure of the incubator each position is a rectangle. That means during the incubation, 5 sides, the front side, the back side, the left side, the right side, and the bottom side of the cuvette will be incubated. The reactants in the cuvette will be incubated totally. Then the cuvette will be sent to the washer. In the washer disc will rotate. it will rotate. At first, the cuvette will under the waste needle position. The waste needle will go into the cuvette to suck out the liquid from the cuvette. Then the waste needle will go up. Then the washer disc will rotate for half a position. In the half position, you can see now the cuvette is under the injection needle. The injection needle will inject the wash liquid into the cuvette. At the same time, the waste needle will go into its wash hole to wash itself. Then the waste needle, it will go up. And then the washer disc will rotate again. Now the cuvette is at the top of the mixer. The mixer will go up. And then it will lift the cuvette and shake the cuvette. You can see before the cuvette reach the mixer position, there's magnet. But when the cuvette reach the mixing position, there's no cuvette. That means when the cuvette in the mixing position, the reactants in the cuvette is scattering. The scattering status of the reactants can make the reactants be mixed totally, increase the wash efficiency. Then the waste needle will go up. The washer disc will rotate. Make the cuvette to reach the second group wash needle. The suction needle will suck out the liquid from the cuvette. Then it will go up. The cuvette will move half position. The waste needle will go down, go into the wash hole to wash itself. At the same time, the injection needle will inject wash liquid into the cuvette. Then the waste needle will go up. The washer disc will rotate. Now the cuvette reaches its second mixing position. In this position, the mixture will go up. When the mixture is going up, it will lift the cuvette and shake the cuvette. When it shakes the cuvette, it can make the scattering reactants in the cuvette be washed totally, increase the wash efficiency. Then the waste needle will go up. The cuvette will move one position by one position, then reach the third group wash needle. At first, the waste needle will suck out the liquid and then inject the wash liquid and then rotate and then mix the cuvette to increase the wash efficiency. Then the waste needle will go up. The washer disc will rotate one position by one position. the cuvette will reach the fourth loop of the wash needle. You can see in the fourth loop of the wash needle, there are only one. You can see there are only one waste needle in the fourth loop. There is no injection needle and there is no mixer. There is no mixer, there is no wash needle, there is no injection needle. There are only one waste needle in the fourth loop of the wash needle. It will suck out the liquid from the cuvette, then it will go up. Then the washer disc will rotate one position by one position. Rotate one position by one position, and then the claw will move to the washer. It will catch the cuvette. Move the cuvette to the chamber. Move the cuvette to the chamber. In the chamber, you can see the chamber disc will rotate, make the cuvette in the starter 1 injection position. In this position, starter 1 will be added. Then the chamber disc will rotate, move the cuvette to the starter 2 injection position. After the starter 2 is added in this position, PMT will detect the light signal. Now the test is finished. Then the cuvette will be sent to the waste position. In the waste position, the wash needle will inject the wash liquid. Then the waste needle will go down to suck out the waste liquid from the cuvette. Then the cuvette will move to this position. The claw will move to the chamber, to take out the cuvette and then throw away the cuvette. That's all about the test procedure in Maglumi X3. As for the structure, there is something I need to remind you. As for the washer, you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 grooves of needle in the washer. As for the fourth groove needle, there are only one waste needle. There is no injection needle and no mixer. As for the first, the second, and the third group wash needle, each group including one waste needle, one injection needle, and one mixer. In a conclusion, there are totally 3 mixers in the washer, and besides, there is one another mixer in the sample disc. Therefore, there are totally 4 mixers in Maglumi X3. That's what you need to pay attention. That's all about the test procedure in Maglumi X3. Then about the advantages of the components in Maglumi X3. As for the reagent area and sample area, we can load the reagent and sample continuously. Then let's see the pipette. You can see there are only one pipette in Maglumi X3 we use this pipette to pipette reagent as well as sample. And compare with traditional Maglumi system. In Maglumi X3, it will use an ejector pin to finish its Z-axis initialization. You can see this is the ejector pin. When the ejector pin touch this area, the pipette will finish its Z-axis initialization. This structure is very simple and it is a stable structure to finish the Z-axis initialization. That's the advantages of the pipette for Maglumi X3. That is the advanced ejector pin for Z-axis initialization. You know, after the pipette finish its pipetting, the pipette will be washed automatically in the wash hole. This is the wash hole in Maglumi. This is the wash hole for the pipette in Maglumi X3. Compare with traditional Maglumi systems. The washing mode for the pipette is multiple, and this multiple washing mode depends on the assay. Therefore, the wash efficiency for the pipette can be highly improved. That's the second advantages. And then you can see here it is the mixer in Maglumi X3. Can you still remember when during the mixing, the mixer will go up and then it will lift the cuvette to shake the cuvette, mixing the reactants in the cuvette by this way. You can see during the mixing, the mixer will not touch the liquid inside the cuvette. That means the mixing is non-contact. The non-contact mixing can prevent the non-specific binding. That means it can prevent the cross-contamination during the mixing. It can highly improve the result accuracy. That is, the non-contact mixing is another advantages in Maglumi X3. And then for the incubator, you can see there are totally 80 positions in the incubator, and the temperature in the incubator is 37 plus or minus 0.3 degrees Celsius. And you can see each position is a rectangle shape. During the incubation, the cuvette will be heated by 5 sides: front side, back side, left side, right side, and the bottom side. That means the sample and reagent can be incubated totally. It can provide a suitable environment for the reaction. That's the advantage. 5 sides heating is one more advantages for Maglumi X3. And then for the washer, there are 2 advantages for the washer. The first advantage is that you can see Compared with traditional Maglumi system, the waste needle and the injection needle in the washer, they are separate. That means they are not in the same position. You can see, during the wash, in this position, the waste liquid will be sucked out from the cuvette. Then, the waste needle will go up. The cuvette will move half position. In this position, the injection needle will inject the cistern liquid into the cuvette for washing. Here we can find that in Maglumi X3, the waste needle and the injection needle, they are separated. That means the wash needle in the washer is independent. The independent wash needle can also prevent the non-specific binding to prevent the cross-contamination during the wash. Then the wash efficiency can be improved. That's the first advantages for the washer, the independent wash needle. The second advantages for the washer is that you can see after the cistern liquid is added into the cuvette will be moved to the mixing position. In the mixing position, there's no magnet. Without magnet, the reactants in the cuvette is scattering. At the same time, the mixer will go up and lift the cuvette, shake the cuvette. When the mixer is shaking the cuvette, the reactants inside the cuvette can be washed totally. The totally wash of the reactant can also improve the wash efficiency. At the same time, you can see like the mixer in the washer is also non-contact. During the mixing, the mixer will not touch the reactants in the cuvette. It can also prevent the non-specific binding, prevent the cross-contamination. That's the mixing is the other advantages in the washer. Then about the chamber, there are also two advantages for the chamber. At first, we can find that compared with traditional Maglumi system, the structure in Maglumi X3 for the chamber is different, very different with traditional Maglumi system. During the test, there will only one cuvette, or we can say there will only one test will be run in the chamber. That means one test will not influence the other tests during the detection. Besides, you can see the starter 1 injection position, the starter 2 injection position, the waste position, they are separated. The distance between the starter 1 injection position and the detection position, the distance between the detection position and the waste position, they are far away. That means during the detection, there will no interference will influence the detection. It will increase the result accuracy. In a conclusion, the first advantages in the chamber is that the independent detection position can increase the result accuracy. The second advantage of the chamber is that the PMT will be heated or cooled when the temperature is changed in the environment. The two-way temperature control system is the other advantages for the chamber in Maglumi X3. That's all about the advantages for the components in Maglumi X3. More details will be introduced to you in the presentation.